Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Reel Me In, a movie podcast where you didn't really ask for, but hey, I'm going to give it to you anyways. This is a podcast where I talk about anything, everything, and anything about movies. I'm your host, Chase Lee, and guys, this is episode 105, and we're going to be going over a bunch of movie news, some trailers that dropped, a lot of fucking trailers that dropped, and my reviews of The Night Before, the new Seth Rogen, Joseph Gordon-Levitt comedy, and the last and final installment of Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2. So it's a jam-packed episode, and as I'm sitting in my room right now, I'm looking out my window, and one of my neighbors is smoking a cigarette, probably looking at me right now. So there you go. Hey, buddy, you enjoying it? Okay. Anyways, so there's a lot to talk about. If you're listening on Spreaker or iHeartRadio and you want to see a video version of this podcast and see me flail my arms around and look like a fucking Muppet or whatever, then link will be in the description below for that. If you're watching on YouTube and you want an audio-only version of this podcast, link in the description for that as well. So guys, how you guys doing? It's been a full week. Last week was kind of slow, like pretty fucking slow, but you know what? We're back in full force with a double feature. So. But you guys doing well? You guys see any good movies? I don't know who I'm talking to. I'm talking to you guys. I love you all, but no one talks back to me because deep down I have no friends. You guys are my friends. I wasn't supposed to say that. The mental institution told me not to say that to anyone, but it is what it is. All right, so let's get this thing going, guys. We're 2 minutes in. Let's not waste any time. The first piece of news is that Edgar Wright, good old Eggy Wrighty, he is the guy behind Shaun the Dead and Hot Fuzz and The World's End. The guy's a super talented filmmaker. I've enjoyed everything that he's touched, whether it just be producing, writing, and directing. He's just a refreshing visionary that you don't see in directors that much nowadays. But anyways, he's in talks to direct and hopefully write and hopefully take control over it. A DreamWorks animated movie, and I don't know if it's called Shadows, but it's going to be dealing with shadows. So you got to buy this, man. Like I'm going to talk about one of his most underrated movies, and there's a reason why I left it off the list until now. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World is a fantastic fucking movie that didn't get enough praise. The budget was like $60 million, and I think it only made like 19 total, like worldwide. That's embarrassing because that was a fantastic film. But all the special effects in there, the animation, it looked like a video game. And so I think I remember saying that back in the day. I was like, I wonder how he would do with like a fully animated movie. Well, now the wish has come true, and I'm looking forward to it, man. Not just because it's Edgar Wright, but the fact that he's doing something different, and he's just becoming one of these directors that everything he does, it just seems fresh, and it's like it's never been done before. It's great, and so I can't wait to see his take on a DreamWorks animated movie. That should be really cool. But as much as I like this story, Pixar, if this is a hit, go snag his ass. Okay, I'm sure he would fit very well in the Pixar universe, but hopefully he won't work on a project for 8 years and the vision changes. That was an Ant-Man reference. All right, so anyways. Really excited about that story. Next piece of news is that Toy Story 4 is happening. Get over it. All you people are crying out there. Don't worry, I cried at first. But now I'm getting warmer to the fact that they are making a fourth one. It's going to be more of a romantic comedy with Woody and Bo Peep and stuff. So what's the news is that they added some talent. They added some talent to the cast. And, I mean, Tom Hanks and Tim Allen, they're already talented. Excuse me. I mean, Tom Hanks is, in almost every movie known to man, and Tim Allen's got that taco truck down the road. But overall, like Toy Story's always had a well-rounded voice cast. They have just announced that they added Patricia Clarkson. There's never a mistake to add talent. I loved her in Boyhood, and I've seen her in a couple other things, but I haven't seen her in much. So I'm glad that like Boyhood kind of put her on the map for me again, to where I would want to go see some of her older films and see her in anything that she's going to be in. So I'm super excited for that. Because in Boyhood, like, if you've never seen Patricia Clarkson before and you watch that movie for the very first time, she brings such a human element to her character where it's like I'm pretty sure all moms are like that. Like it's crazy how accurate she nailed it. And she's got kids of her own stuff, so it was a little bit easier. But she just felt so raw and unhinged in that role. It's just so sad for her at the very end of the movie. And so at that point forward, I was like, I will watch anything with her in it. And I guess I should add, I will watch anything hearing her voice in it. So this is great. Never mistake to add talent. So there you go for all you Toy Story fans. And for all you Toy Story 4 haters right now, it's okay. It's Pixar. I trust them. The next piece of news is that I'm going to try to pronounce her name, Philippa Boyens? That's probably wrong. I don't know why I said it like that. Anyway, she is one of the co-writers on all 3 Lord of the Rings movies and all 3 of the Hobbit films. She has worked with, I think her name is Fran Welsh and Peter Jackson on basically the whole fucking Middle-earth saga, if you will. So she's being tapped to write. There's a book series called The Merlin out there. Never read of it. Never even heard of it until now. But now I'm actually kind of interested. Because why? She's in talks to write it. She's in talks to write the Merlin saga trilogy, whatever they're having planned and stuff. And I think it totally works out because the thing is, if you are one of the co-writers on the Middle-earth saga and you're going to tackle another like fantasy book adaptation, I wholeheartedly buy it. Like I actually am interested to see the Merlin now. I kind of want to go fetch out and read the books, but that's not going to happen because I don't fucking read. So, but I am more interested in the movie now than I would ever have been just because she is a part of it. And a lot of people might say, well, how do you know that Peter Jackson didn't write everything and she was just kind of like, onto the side or whatever, and Jackson did most of the lifting? Well, I would throw the question back at you and be like, how do you know she wasn't the majority screenwriter on all 6 of those movies, and Peter Jackson gave input or changed a couple scenes every now and then, but he wasn't one of the main screenwriters? We don't know. We don't know how that relationship was broken down, but fact is, she's credited, which means she had some part to do with the story and the script and stuff. So I'm excited to see this now. So I can't wait to see her tackle another fantasy saga. So the Merlin. Now you're on my fucking radar. Congratulations. The next piece of news is that now I'm gonna mess this name up too. Anthony McCartan. Is that how you pronounce it? I don't know why I'm asking you guys. You guys can't talk to me right now. Anthony McCartan, I think is his name. Anyways, he wrote The Theory of Everything, which is literally the only Best Picture nominee I did not see last year. I still haven't seen it. I do want to see it though, because Eddie Redmayne looks terrific in it. I mean, he won the Oscar for it, so apparently the screenwriter of The Theory of Everything is tapped to write the Freddie Mercury biopic, which is the Freddie Mercury is the lead singer of Queen. Queen's is a very successful band. I'm looking forward to the biopic now, and I kind of want to see The Theory of Everything now, because if this guy is getting more work, The Theory of Everything is very well praised by a lot of people, so I'll check it out. But as far as the Freddie Mercury biopic, oh hell yeah. I'm still a little upset that Sacha Baron Cohen kind of left the project. He was supposed to play Freddie Mercury. If you look at a picture of Freddie, dude, Sacha looks exactly like that guy. Like he's come back as Freddie Mercury. Like that's not even his real. Sacha Baron Cohen is not his real name. It is a screen name because that is apparently Freddie Mercury acting. No, I was really sad when he left and stuff. He left over creative differences and whatnot. They're getting the guy that plays Q in the James Bond movies right now with Daniel Craig. So sure, I'll buy that. But as far as the screenwriter goes, that's a good choice. I mean, he didn't win, but he was nominated for an Oscar, I believe, for Best Adapted Screenplay. So, I mean, he's got the cred behind it. So I'm looking forward to the Mercury biopic, and I still need to see The Theory of Everything. But that is a very good piece of news, even though I have not seen either movie. And then the last piece of news, why in holy fucking matrimony are we talking about this? The last piece of news. there's a company called Ambi Pictures, and they bought a slew of rights to a lot of movies. And they plan on remaking them. One of them is Memento. My question is why? Now, from a business aspect, I totally get where they're coming from because they spent, probably hundreds of thousands, maybe to millions of dollars on the rights to these movies. They got to make their money back somehow. I get that. It's business. But why Memento? Remake anything else, which why Memento? Like, the charm about that movie was, it was dealing with Polaroids. What the hell are you going to do now? Like, you're going to see the pictures on the iPhone? It's just not going to have the same impact that I know of. I mean, who knows? The remake could be great. But Memento is so good, and it's only 15 years old to where, why would you need to remake it now? Sure, remake it like 30 years from now, but like, why now? It's not even 2 decades old. So, I don't know, man. A part of me is like, you know what? You got to do what you got to do to make your money back. But at the same coin, I'm just like, why that fucking movie? So I'm really not particularly too happy about this news, nor am I too pissed off. So, I mean, it's kind of weird. I want to know what you guys think. I mean, since that's the last news story, what do you guys think about a Memento remake? Comment in the place, rub on my face, and let me know. I would like to hear your thoughts on it. And did you even see the first Memento? Maybe this piece of news will drive people to watch it because it was the first breakout movie for Christopher Nolan. Now, he did a movie before that called The Following. That was his very first movie. But Memento is the one that like solidified him on the map of Hollywood, basically coming in full force with a humongous dick and ramming Hollywood for the, shit. Memento was 2001 or 2000. So, I mean, Christopher Nolan's been rocking for about 15 years now. So, good for him. But, why Memento? Remake anything else. I don't get it. But I do get it because it's business. But fuck that business. All right, so that's all for all the news stories, guys. Like I said, if you have any comments or questions on any of them, comment in the place with my face and let me know. All right, let's get into the trailers because I'm counting them right now on my board. There's fucking 9 of them. There's 9 of these bastards. Okay. A lot of them are poop. I'm not gonna lie, a lot of them are poop. Some of them are good. Let's start with the good ones, and we'll work our way down the toilet. All right, so Zoolander 2. Now, I really like the first Zoolander a lot. It's not my favorite Ben Stiller directed comedy. That would be Tropic Thunder, but I still think Zoolander is in the veins of like a Dumb and Dumber, where like it plays really well on like stupid humor, where the main characters are just they're about as smart as a marshmallow, and they do stupid shit and they say stupid things, and it's in the world of fashion and stuff. So I really enjoy the first Zoolander a lot. I'm not going to say it's like one of my favorite comedies of all time, but it's very enjoyable. The trailer to the sequel was pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. I laughed a couple of times, and everyone just looks so ridiculous. Kristen Wiig, what the hell? She looks ridiculous. It's also got Benedict Cumberbatch, Will Ferrell's coming back, Ben Stiller, Owen Wilson. It looks funny. It looks entertaining. I'm actually really excited to see this. I think it comes out the same weekend as Deadpool, so I'm sensing that will probably be the episode when that comes out. But yeah, it was really funny. It was really goofy and stupid, but goddamn, man, I fucking enjoyed it. So yeah, Zoolander 2. I'm totally on board. So the next trailer I want to talk about is The Huntsman: Winter's War. And you're probably thinking to yourself, why are you talking about this one early? Isn't that one poop? I never saw Snow White in The Huntsman. I never saw it, never had any desire to. I gotta tell you, the trailer to the spinoff, sequel, prequel, whatever the fuck they're calling it, that's pretty good. I enjoyed myself. I thought it was really well cut together trailer. It looked like it was entertaining and exciting. Charlize Theron looks like she's having a grand old time as the evil queen. Emily Blunt looks great in it. It's basically like the grown-up version of Frozen because like she's the ice queen and she freezes stuff. She's a sister, so it's exactly like Frozen. But No, she's in it. Jessica Chastain's in it. Chris Hemsworth is coming back as the Huntsman. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I will definitely check this movie out. I mean, that's all I can really say. I never saw the first one, so I don't know how it's going to carry over. But the trailer for the sequel actually kind of excited me. So, surprise, surprise, right? The next trailer is Now You See Me Too. Once again, never saw the first one, but I really like this teaser. I like Jesse Eisenberg. I like Daniel Radcliffe's addition to it. I like Michael Caine, Morgan Freeman, Dave Franco, Isla Fisher, and Woody Harrelson. It's a good-looking cast, for sure. I never got around to the first one. And this one, it looks fun. I love magic movies. I'm kind of like a sucker for them. And this one looks like it's the type of movie to where I would want to know how these magic acts happen and stuff, because all the shots they showed in the trailer were really cool. I was like, oh, cool, how did that trick go down and stuff? So it kind of intrigues me, not gonna lie. And I think adding Daniel Radcliffe is actually pretty well done castings. He feels like he would fit in the magic world of something, right? That was a Harry Potter reference for all you people out there that don't know what the Potter is. Okay, I'm moving on. All right, so the next one I want to talk about is The Bronze. And this is a movie that splashed at Sundance. It's got the chick from the Big Bang Theory. I think her name is Melissa Rauch. And it also stars Sebastian Stan. I think Melissa's husband wrote this movie, I believe. I think they wrote it together, something like that. Anyways, she plays an Olympic bronze medal gymnast who goes back to her hometown, and she's kind of fucking miserable, and she curses, she drinks, and I think she trains people and stuff as, for extra side cash, but she's kind of like a dirty little bird, if you will. And so it was just a short little 1 minute, 1.5 minute teaser, and I liked it. Did I really laugh? No, but I did like her character. I thought Melissa was totally like sarcastic, snarky, abrasive, in your face, vulgar, and I was like, this is probably going to be a very interesting character. So on her character alone and how it was portrayed in the trailer, I'm totally on board for it. But I heard it was really funny as well. I didn't laugh particularly at anything. I kind of smiled or chuckled a little bit, but I wasn't like, whoa, shit, I got a heart attack coming. No, I wasn't like that or anything, but it was a very entertaining trailer. I want to see her broken, damaged, alcohol abusive character. So it looks really fun. I hope it gets picked up because the company that bought it went bankrupt. All right. The next one is Midnight Special. I don't really know much about it. It's like a minute-long trailer, and it's from Jeff Nichols, the guy that did Take Shelter and Mud, which are two fantastic films. Check those movies out if you haven't, especially Mud. Dear God. That was my first exposure to Ty Sheridan. The kid's going to go places, I'll tell you that much. But Midnight Special is Jeff Nichols' next movie. And from the looks of it looks like it's like a kid from outer space or whatever. He's not from this world. And parents try to protect him or something. It looks like a realistic version of like a Superman or something. I don't know. I honestly don't need to know more as a fan of Jeff Nichols because I love Take Shelter and Mud so much. To where I'm just like, the trailer was intriguing. I'm going to see it regardless. So that's all I can really say. If you like Mud and Take Shelter, check out the trailer. I think you'll be intrigued at least. The next trailer I want to talk about. Oh no, I went through all the good ones. We're down to the shit list now. Okay, let's get it over with. First one, Gods of Egypt. Wow, that looked awful. It looks like a 1995 like computer game, but worse. Like, it looks bad. It looks like they took Clash of the Titans, which is already a turd, and they try to polish it with like brighter colors and stuff, but it's still a turd. It just looks awful. It looks so bad. It's from the guy that did iRobot and stuff, and it's like he's done some good movies, I guess, and it's like, why? I don't know. It looks fucking awful. The effects look unrendered, and the acting looks awful, and the action sequences look like every other PG-13 Clash of the Titans looking motherfucker out there. So it was not intriguing. Gerard Butler, I hate to say it, but it's been 10 years, or it's almost been 10 years, and I'm going to say it. I think 300 was it for you, but I seriously think 300 was it for you. Like, that was the pinnacle of your career. Now, I heard he was okay in Olympus Has Fallen and stuff, but just every other movie outside of that, maybe besides The Ugly Truth, because I have like a weird soft spot for that movie, it's just, I don't know if he can carry a movie anymore or drive a movie at the box office. Like, it just looks like poop, guys. Like, check it out. It's The Gods of Egypt. I talked about the posters last week. The next one I'm talking about is Central Intelligence. Is the Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Kevin Hart movie. It's a goofy comedy. Dwayne Johnson is in the CIA. He asked for Kevin Hart's help. They used to go to high school together. Woo, shenanigans ensue. I didn't laugh once in the trailer. Now, am I interested in the movie? Well, sure. I do like The Rock and I do like Kevin Hart. So seeing them together, I'm intrigued, but I didn't like the trailer. It just wasn't funny. I thought all the jokes looked like they were pulled from the 90s. I just didn't care about it. But it wasn't like the worst one of the week. That's for damn sure. We'll get to that in just a second. The next trailer I want to talk about is The Boss. Kristen Bell, Melissa McCarthy. Melissa McCarthy plays a boss. She's evil. She's mean. She needs help from Kristen Bell. So first of all, it's already like a done story that's been done before. That trailer was super unfunny. I didn't laugh once. I was like, what is this? What is this? And I'm not done with Melissa McCarthy, but I'm almost getting there. I really am. I'm tired of her shtick a little bit. I do like her in some movies for sure, and I'm glad that she has a dramatic sense about her to where she can do dramas like a St. Vincent or something, but this one, I just did not like it at all. Like, that was a really unfunny trailer. So at least Central Intelligence, like, I kind of liked the chemistry of Kevin Hart and The Rock, but this one just missed the mark on everything. But wasn't the worst trailer. And I thought The Boss was super unfunny. At least I can kind of like have a smirk on the side of my mouth because it's Melissa McCarthy. It's not as bad as 50 Shades of Black, which is the spoof movie done by Marlon Wayans, and he's basically spoofing 50 Shades of Grey. I didn't laugh. I didn't smile. I didn't do anything during that trailer. I was basically lobotomized for 2.5 minutes. This trailer was awful. The only positive I will say about it is that at least Marlon Wayans is not like Aaron Seltzer and Jason Turdberg, where they make date movie, epic movie, Meet the Spartans, and they just shove a bunch of pop culture references in your fucking ass, and they're just like, enjoy it! And it's just a bunch of random fucking scenes thrown together, and they make no sense to the story. At least Marlon Wayans, even though Haunted House 1 and 2 sucked ass, at least he's sticking true to one specific movie, story, or genre and spoofing it, even though it's terrible. So I have to give him credit for at least doing the whole story of 50 Shades of Grey all over again and spoofing it, even though it'll probably suck ass. At least he's sticking to one thing. He's not just throwing random pop culture references and scenes that don't make any fucking sense. So I'll give him props on that. Excuse me. But this trailer was awful. It was unfunny. I did not laugh once. With that being said, I think spoof movies are done. I think they are RIP, done, dead, finito, let's move on. Older spoof movies, like anything from Mel Brooks or even the Zucker brothers when they did Airplane and Naked Gun. And to some extent, I will say the first two Scary movies, because I really do enjoy those. But other than that, we haven't had any good spoof movies, and they've just been tarnished by these terrible ones, including Haunted House 1 and 2, and now 50 Shades of Black, that make those fucking movies from the past look like a damn joke. That genre needs to die. It does. Or someone needs to fucking revamp it and make it applicable to today's times. Because this slapstick spoof movie type of humor does not work for the audience nowadays. Most kids nowadays have so much access to porn and violent stuff and, like, you know, raunchy humor all over fucking YouTube to where they are so desensitized to slapstick, it just comes across as cheesy and goofy to them. That's what these movies are starting to become now. 50 Shades of Black looks terrible. I hope I do not see it. The only reason I saw Haunted House 2, what was it, last year, is because Marlon Wayans came to Dallas. I got to interview him, took a picture with him, and that was cool. That was the highlight of my day. But I did not like the movie. So this one looks awful. Please, I actually challenge you. Watch the fucking trailer to this movie and tell me if you at least laugh once or smile or something. It was nothing. It was like I was dead inside. So 50 Shades of Black. Congratulations, that was made. All right, so anyways, that will do it for the trailers, guys. If I had to pick a favorite one, I like Midnight Special just because I like the filmmaker and it's the first time we're seeing any footage from this. But I also like Zoolander 2 and The Bronze. I think I'd have to go. I'll go Zoolander 2 or The Bronze for my favorite one. The surprising one was definitely The Huntsman. And the worst one's 50 Shades of Black. So that will be the trailers, guys. Comment and place it up on my face and let me know what you thought of any of these trailers. If you saw any, let me know. So yeah. So let's move on, guys, to the movie reviews. Let's get into the meat. The meat, as Brian Sudfield pointed out in my last podcast, the meat. Let's get into the meat of this fucking podcast. Move the side dishes and the appetizers aside. We're about to rip these two movies apart and dissect them for what they are, which are fucking movies. All right. What do you guys want to start with? You guys want to start with The Night Before or Mockingjay Part 2? I'm leaning towards Mockingjay for the last one to talk about because it's the end of a franchise. I'll kind of end the episode a little bit. So let's do that. So let's do The Night Before. Okay. I am a huge Seth Rogen fan. I adore that man. I love it when he writes, directs, acts, produces. I love it all. I'm a huge fan of him. I'm also a huge fan of Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Anthony Mackie, by the way. So I love the cast. I'm a huge fan of the writer and director, which is Jonathan Levine, and he did 50-50 with Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Seth Rogen, and Seth Rogen also produced it with his writing partner, Evan Goldberg. So there's that. I'm a huge fan of 50-50. I didn't love The Night Before, but I can tell you this. I liked it a lot. I liked it a lot, but I didn't necessarily love it, or I won't call it a classic or anything in the comedy genre. I'll say I liked it a lot. It was very entertaining and stuff. I just have some issues with it. Not too much, but, you know, it is what it is. So let's get real and break this down. So let's start with the writing and the directing. Now, there are 4 writers on this bad boy. One of them is Jonathan Levine, and the other one is Evan Goldberg, and 2 of them I've never heard of before. Too many writers. I kind of wish Seth Rogen would have put his hands in the script a little bit, maybe kind of mixed it up, and he probably would have had some great input and stuff. But Seth's a busy guy. He can't write everything that he produces, and he can't produce everything he writes. I get that. But maybe if he would have went in there with Evan and Jonathan, and just them 3 came up with the script or whatever, it probably would have worked. Now, I've seen plenty of interviews online where Jonathan was like, hey, listen, during the comedy scenes, I let them riff, which is great because he did that for 50-50. When it was the comedic scenes, he would let them riff. And when it was the more dramatic scenes, he would have them hone down and be like, okay, here's your end goal. You need to act accordingly and get to that point and just make sure it is, it's not going off too many tracks. So, yeah, he's the type of director to where, like, if it's dramatic, he wants it to be dramatic and you stick with the script. But if it's more comedic, he's more free will to let the actors just kind of do whatever the hell they want. That's great. I love that. It makes it more authentic. So the writing, to me, most of the humor works, but there were some of them that was just kind of like, I felt like they were trying too hard or it just didn't work for me. And then there were also a few scenes placed throughout the movie that just kind of random. I get why they were there, but there was just too many random scenes where I was like, Not too many, but like there was a handful where I was like, that could have been tightened up a little bit or something. But overall, the writing is spot on. It's got the humor there. It's got the heart to it when the heart needs to be there. So the writing is pretty good for the most part. I'm not going to say it's great or anything, but it's pretty good for this type of movie. Now the direction is pretty well done. 50-50 is still my favorite one this guy's ever done. But there was a lot of funny scenes where I was rolling or where I was laughing really loud or like almost on the verge of crying and stuff. So he knows how to direct comedy, and he also knows how to rein it in, hone it down a little bit, and direct those smaller, more intimate, dramatic scenes, which I thought people like Anthony Mackie and Joseph Gordon-Levitt did very, very well. Seth doesn't have too many dramatic scenes in this, but he's kind of there as basically the best friend that's high the entire time. Which is not a problem because some of those scenes were absolutely hilarious. But in terms of the dramatic scenes, Jonathan Levine knows how to really capture the human moments that just have so much heart. So, excuse me. So the writing and directing were pretty good overall. Acting-wise, listen, I know a lot of people hate Seth out there. I love Seth. I think he's a very versatile actor. Watch some of his more dramatic stuff. He's just as good in that as he is in his comedies. He's really well diverse. He just gets a bad name because he does nothing but movies with drug and dick jokes in them. Sure. That's what you should expect when you go into a Seth Rogen movie at this point. If you don't like him, okay, just don't go see them and be disappointed. So he does a really good job. I like him. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, once again, just like in 50-50, has the most heart to his character. It has the best growth throughout the movie. Anthony Mackie does a really good job, too, with character growth and just knowing about him and stuff. Because the thing with 50-50, it's a movie that's about really just living life to the fullest and always staying optimistic and never getting down on life, whatever life may throw at you. The Night Before is all about friendship. I'm not even joking. Like, this movie has some really good under themes of friendship and just what happens when you get older and what you have to accept as your friends get older. And, most of them will get married or have kids or get like a really good job and have to move or something. So I thought it captured really well. And I think Joseph Gordon-Levitt's performance and Anthony Mackie's performance totally sold that theme of friendship that was just so deep, and it was just running through the entire movie. I loved it. And plus, their chemistry is great. I loved all three of their chemistries. I felt like they've known each other for years, so that is a plus. And plus, there is a cameo. Not gonna say who it is because everyone I saw a review for fucking spoiled it for me. I want you guys to go in blind if you guys see this movie. There is a cameo, and he's from an esteemed. It's from an esteemed actor, like a very good actor. He's like one of my favorites. Well, I kind of just ruined it because it's 50-50 shot because. Or half the gender was taken away because I said he, but whatever. You still won't guess it. Anyways, he pops up, and I was like, "Holy shit!" They got him in a Seth Rogen movie. That's awesome. So his part was really funny. I loved all the cameos that did happen throughout, but there's one in particular that was just, it was ace, fucking great. So the acting was very, very well done. Performances were very good and well realized. Cinematography-wise, it does capture the essence of Christmas. There's a lot of bright lights everywhere. And, I don't know if they shot in New York or not, but they shot in like August. So gotta give props to the set people and stuff, made it really look like Christmas on the streets. So, cinematography is very crisp. It's very clean. Editing wise, the movie's about 2 hours long. As much as I enjoyed the movie, it could have been cut down a little bit. Maybe make it a tight, like hour 40 or something. Like I said, I just felt like there was a couple scenes that could have been taken out and you probably wouldn't even noticed, or it wouldn't have really made a huge difference with the story. But then again, as the movie progressed, because it was kind of told out of order a little bit, so when those scenes would pop up, it would make sense later in the dialogue in the end, but it's kind of like, I don't know. It's a fucking weirdly put together movie, especially after 50-50, which I absolutely adored. So overall, guys, this is a entertaining movie. It's a very fun movie. There's a lot of heart to it with great performances from Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Seth Rogen, and Anthony Mackie with some very surprising cameos. I love the theme of friendship and how real it is and how raw it is. I would recommend it. It's very entertaining. I would give The Night Before a solid B. Now I was contemplating because I was like, I'm not going to give it a B plus because it wasn't like my favorite comedy of the year or anything, but it was very enjoyable. I would recommend it, but I was thinking about giving it a C plus. But I was like, C plus seems a little bit too harsh. I think a B is solid for that movie. I think it's totally justified. So The Night Before, I'm giving it a B. Have you seen The Night Before? Comment in the place where I put my face and let me know. I would like to know your thoughts about this movie and Seth Rogen in general. All right. So let's move on to The Hunger Games, Mockingjay, Part 2. That was terrible. All right. So let's start from the beginning, guys. This is the end of a franchise. They got to build it up, right? I did not read the books. I don't read the books, period. Once I've seen a movie of a franchise and it's based on a book series, I know it sounds ignorant of me, but I don't start the book because I want to be surprised by everything that goes on in the franchise when they complete it. That's exactly why I didn't read Harry Potter. Once I saw The Sorcerer's Stone in theaters, I was like, okay, I don't need to read the books now because I want to be surprised as these movies progress and stuff. And I was surprised generally at the end of Harry Potter. So Hunger Games was the same way. I didn't want to see Hunger Games at first. I really didn't. It came out in 2011, and I was working at the movie theater at the time. So I remember when it came out. I remember when it was in theaters and stuff, and everyone was like, oh, dude, it was pretty good and stuff. And I was like, listen, I don't really like young adult novels. No offense to them. You know, they got their audience, whatever. I never particularly cared for them. Harry Potter and maybe a couple others were like the only suggestions only ones out of the genre or whatever. I saw the first Hunger Games and I was like, that was pretty good because I remember I think me and two of my friends from Dallas, we went to the Dollar Theater. Actually, I didn't see it in regular theaters. We waited until the Dollar Theater because I was like, guys, it's Hunger Games, it's getting a lot of praise, let's go check it out. I was blown away. I was like, that was actually pretty good for, for a PG-13, for what they could get away with type of movie. It was really enjoyable. I enjoyed the story. I was engrossed into it. And plus, it was more politically charged and politically corrupt than anything. And I thought that was a lot different than, like Twilight or whatever. So I saw the first movie. I was really impressed. So I was looking forward to the sequel. Now, they switched out directors from the first one to the second one. The second one's like a completely different movie from a different franchise. That's how different it is. Just in cinematography alone, it is vastly different in tone and just the way it feels and stuff. But I really love Catching Fire. Like, I'm going to just say it flat out right now before I get to part 2. It's my favorite one of the series in terms of movies. Then Mockingjay Part 1 comes out. I'm really excited for it. Me and my roommate saw it, and I was like, that was pretty good. I can't wait for part 2. Like, the cliffhanger was really cool. I want more. And my roommate has read the books, and so he's been keeping track and stuff. And so I'm really looking forward to part 2. I'm looking forward to end this franchise, and it wasn't a really long franchise. First one came out in 2011 or 2012, I forgot. But it's 2015. It's only been 4 years, so it was a pretty fast franchise for what it was. So part 2 comes on. And I watch it. It ends. I was like, that was solid. I think it's a solid movie, but I have a few issues with it to where it kind of hinders me from like calling it like a great movie. It's just like, it was solid. It was entertaining. I would put it on if I had to rank the movies right now, I'd probably go Catching Fire, Part 2, Part 1, Hunger Games. I actually really enjoyed Mockingjay throughout both movies. It's like a 4-hour-long epic, but I enjoyed it way more than the first one. So I would say it's a solid movie, but I do have some issues with it. So let's get real and break this down. Let's dissect this thing to the best of my ability because I did not read the books. I'm kind of going off of a movie fan's perspective. So if I get something wrong with the verbiage, it's okay. You can yell at me in the comments below, but just know I have not read the books. Okay. So let's start with the writing and the directing. First of all, let me go on my spiel. I don't think any last book of a series, excluding Harry Potter, needs to be broken up into 2 parts as films. I don't think they needed it. I've seen how thick Mockingjay is. It is not that big. They could have easily squeezed this movie into, or these 2 movies into one for sure. It just didn't make any sense to me that it was split up. Twilight was terrible when they split it up. I'm not looking forward to Divergent when they split their shit up. But Harry Potter was the only one that was justified because even though I didn't read the book, the fucker's like 1,000 pages long, 800 pages. So it's a thick fucking book. So that's okay, like, to stretch that out into 2 parts. But for me personally, I've never been a fan of the whole breaking up to 2 parts thing. Never have. Even with The Hobbit, that should have been 2 movies. Should not have been 3. Even though I enjoy all 3, should have been 2. Okay. So with that spiel out of the way, let's get into the writing and the directing of Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2. I thought the writing was solid. I thought the dialogue was really well done. There was a lot of cool lines that were probably from the book. I've liked the Katniss character. I wanted her to succeed and take down President Snow and stuff. So the writing is very, very good for what it is and stuff. It's just like Part 1, so I was just carrying it over. One of the issues I had with the writing is that for the first 20 minutes, and just keep in mind, guys, I don't spoil anything, so I'm not going to spoil anything. The first 20 minutes are fucking slow as shit. It takes forever for this movie to finally get going. Because the Part 1 was like, it was solid, it was going, and then like the cliffhanger, and you're just like, oh my God, I want a fucking another one right now. This movie starts right as where Part 1 left off. But dear Lord, it was moving at a snail's pace. Like, I would say by the end of the first act, it started kicking in gear for me, and that's when it started, like, I was really interested. I was like, oh shit, what's going to happen next? Like, this is really cool. So, the writing and the story, whatever, it just takes fucking forever to get it going. So it is a bit slow in the beginning. And here's another problem I have with it. I have not read the book, but I have read the cliff notes of the book. They keep it pretty true to the end of the book. But there's a few things in there that just came out of nowhere and didn't really fit with the whole Hunger Games universe. I'm conflicted about it because there's one scene in particular in the movie that's amazing. It's well shot, it's well edited, it's creepy, it's suspenseful. But what happens in the scene did not fit with the whole fucking movie. So there were some things in there, including the slow beginning, where I was just like, what are you doing? Like, this doesn't fit this political agenda type movie at all, and it just felt out of nowhere. So there was a few things in there I just did not appreciate, and they could have changed up for the movie. That's the thing. You don't have to stay super loyal when you adapt stuff. It's called adapting. You adapt it because it's a different fucking medium. So there were just a few things in there that I was just like, what? What is this? And I'm not going to lie. They could have ended this movie like 5 different times. There's a lot of endings to this movie. And in particular, like I said, I don't spoil anything, but the climax, if you will, happens towards the end. And they don't really show it. They speak about it. And it's kind of like, well, I waited 4 movies to kind of see this. I kind of wanted to see like a little bit of it. So, yeah. So, with the positives of, like, you know, some of the dialogue and stuff that was actually kind of cool and pretty powerful, kind of relating to politics and government of today and stuff, the story was kind of sloppy for me. It was slow. Stuff was just in there or whatever that I didn't really care about. But the thing is, like, after that first act, Mari, I was enjoying myself, even though some of this stuff didn't make any sense. And you're probably thinking to yourself, well, once you rate Part 1 higher on your list, not necessarily. I still enjoyed it overall, and I still like the way they ended it because it was kind of creepy. But yeah, I just thought the story structure was a little sloppy. That's all. Directing-wise, Francis Lawrence comes back. He did Catching Fire in Part 1. It's still directed good, like very well. Like, I love this guy's direction of this entire franchise. He makes it so dark and bleak, and it's just so great how he films these chaotic scenes with the rebels, and then he'll film scenes with the Capitol, and it's just so elegant and stuff. So he knows how to construct this universe from the book, and I think he knows this world in and out at this point, and I thought he did a really good job direction-wise. It was just like part one. It was a direct continuation. Even though I hate it being broken up, I still enjoyed it overall. Acting-wise, this is one of those instances where, it's like a James Bond at this point. It's like, listen, Jennifer Lawrence has been playing Katniss for 4 years now. I think she's great in the role. Katniss is not really my favorite character in the world, but I think she's good in the role. She serves it very well. She's got a lot of powerful scenes in the movie where they kind of just rip your heart out, and you're just like, oh, God. Because like I said, did not read the book, so I didn't even see half of the choice coming, and I was like, oh, shit, what the fuck just happened? So, yeah, she does a good job. I've had one problem. Throughout this entire franchise, and just like part two, it still bugs the shit out of me. I don't see her and Josh Hutcherson ever hooking up, ever. In fantasy world, movie world, real life, whatever. I can't see it, never have, never will. I don't buy that romance. And I don't buy that romance. I sound like a politician there. Ironic. No, I've never cared for the relationship. Even Liam Hemsworth. Liam is fine in the movie and is definitely the best thing he's done in his career so far. But the thing is, I've never bought into the love triangle, never bought into her love with Gale, never bought into her love with Peeta, never bought that shit ever. And I still don't, even after the franchise. So Josh Hutcherson does a good job. Liam Hemsworth does a good job. I don't buy the love triangle or the love between any of them. So there you go. Julianne Moore is in this. She does a really good job as President Coin. I've always liked her. Donald Sutherland, he's such a creepy motherfucker in this entire franchise. I want to punch his face in because of what he's done. He's just the type of guy to where I just automatically hate when I see him on screen just because of how powerful he is. So, yeah, the acting overall is good, and I got to touch on it because I know it's on everyone's mind. It's on my mind. When I saw Philip Seymour, because the movie opens up right where part one left off, and Philip Seymour Hoffman's in one of the first few shots of the beginning of part two, I kind of teared up a little bit because, Philip Seymour Hoffman's not with us anymore. He died last year, and this is his last movie ever, which is, it's kind of like poetic and in the sense of like this is the end of a franchise, and this movie is the end of his career. So I'm not going to lie, I teared up. Now, is Philip Seymour Hoffman the standout in these movies? No, but he's good in that role. Like, he serves it to the best he can, being the type of actor he is. But it was just sad, man, to see him on screen. Oh man, I'm tearing up just thinking about it. It was his last movie, and because he filmed like 90% of it before he passed away, and so they had to film a couple of scenes. You could tell which scenes they filmed in the movie because it's just like Paul Walker in Furious 7 where it's like that digital face on someone's body. So you can definitely tell. But, oh, man, Philip. But overall, the other cast does very well too. I've got no problems with the acting. I just never bought the love triangle or the love in general. Cinematography-wise, it's beautiful, man. I love the dark, desolate wastelands of these cities, and then, like I said, the elegance of the capital and stuff. I loved all the battle scenes and whatnot. They were very well executed, very chaotic, and I felt like I was in there with them. So yeah, cinematography is very beautiful. It's very crisp. Ever since Catching Fire, man, the cinematography has just been on point ever since. The first Hunger Games, too much shaky cam, but the second one on, delicious. Editing-wise, movie's 2 hours and 10 minutes. Now, if you're probably thinking to yourself, well, how are you going to combine both of them to make it in one movie? I think after part one, you should have added maybe like 40 minutes to an hour and just made it like a 3-hour long movie instead of making it 4 hours. I'm not going to lie. Like I said, there's some stuff in there that could have been taken out or at least changed up to make sense. And then like you could have sped up. You could have taken out the first 20 minutes of part two and summed it up like 2 minutes after part one. I don't know. It's a little slow in the beginning, like I said, but once they get to a certain point in the movie, it flies by. I was so interested in it because, like I said, I've never read the book. So anytime I watch adapted things, I get surprised because I don't know the source material. So like I say, after a certain point, I was completely engaged. But other than that, the first 20 minutes were slow. That's it. So overall, guys, I love this entire franchise. I think it speaks volumes to the politics and the government that's going on today. It's like a mirror. It's like fucking watching reality in fantasy form and realizing that our government's like this and we don't do anything about it. Yet when we watch Hunger Games, we're so appalled, and it's like, well, that's what they're doing. So I've always liked these from a political angle. It's very well done. The acting's always great. The action's always good. It's just an intriguing political thriller, and I'm sad to see it go, but it was a damn good franchise while it lasted. Part 2, not my favorite one, but I still enjoyed it despite all the story problems I had, the slowness of it. But it is shot well, it's acted well, and it does have a nice and haunting conclusion to this franchise. Seriously, like the last few moments of Katniss's character, I was like, oh, damn. She is mentally fucked up after this. So the Hunger Games has really scarred this young lady. So, yeah, I still enjoyed part 2 overall, and it is my second favorite one out of the series, even though despite the problems I had with it. And then I go part 1 in the first Hunger Games, but Catching Fire will always be my favorite. This is still a great conclusion. I want to know if you guys have read the book and stuff. Did it keep it true to the book? Because from what I read on the Cliff Notes, they kept it pretty fair and true to the book. So I'm curious. What do you guys think of the Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2? Comment in the place where I put my face and let me know. I would give the Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2, let's end this franchise, I would give it a solid B. Now, just like the night before, I was thinking to myself, well, I'm not going to give it a B+ with all my problems, but I don't want to give it a C+ because that seems a little bit too harsh. So I went in the middle. I went with the B. So guess what, guys? It's a B all around today. Let's throw out Bs. Here we go now. So the night before gets a B. The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2 gets a B. So have you seen either of these movies? Like I said, comment in the place to open my face in the comment box and let me know. Those are your movie reviews today, guys. So let's get into the box office results for the weekend, and we will end this show with a bang as usual. Okay, number 5 is the new film, The Secret in Their Eyes, and it made $6.6 million. Internet will work. There is no budget on it, so I don't know what to compare it to, and there's no worldwide numbers. So domestically, which is the U.S. and Canada, $6.6 million. Number 4 is The Night Before with $10 million. Nice, it's not bad for this type of movie. Its production budget is $25 million, so it needs to make about $50 million to break even. You know, if it sticks around the holidays and stuff, and you know, Thanksgiving's coming out next week, so people want to go see a Seth Rogen movie or whatever, it's there. I'm getting kind of worried because Seth Rogen used to open up at $100 million movies all the time. Superbad was a huge hit. This is the End was a huge hit. If The Interview didn't have all that crap happen to it, I'm sure that would have been a pretty decent hit. So, yeah, he's starting to slip a little bit. So, you know, I'm kind of worried about it. I hope it at least breaks even or makes a little bit. I don't know. We'll have to see the worldwide numbers, but there's no worldwide. It's just domestic. But we'll just have to see as it progresses because it is a Christmas movie. Maybe towards Christmas, it'll actually become more successful, kind of like what Harold and Kumar Christmas did back in the day. I think it came out in like November, and it stuck around for a little bit and stuff, so people got into the holiday spirit when they saw it. But not bad for that type of movie, especially when it's R-rated and stuff. Number 3 is the Peanuts movie with $12.8 million. This movie's doing pretty well for itself. Domestically, it's got 98, and worldwide, it's got 108 on a budget of $99 million. So let's round it up to 100, and he's making about 200 to break even. It's about $90 million off. So I don't know, man. I think I know why they're hesitant on announcing a sequel, because of this right here. So I like the movie a lot, but it is, kind of hurting a little bit. So number 2, Spectre with $14.6 million. Domestically, it's got 153, and worldwide, it's got 677 on a budget of 245. Double that, roughly. It'll be about 500 million, 510, 15 million for marketing. It's doing pretty well. It's making a pretty good profit. But then again, look at fucking Skyfall. It made $1 billion, so it's not surprising at all. Number 1, you guys know what it is. The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2 with $101 million. Its budget is unlisted, but worldwide, its first weekend, $247 million. Not bad for the final installment in this franchise. I believe the first Hunger Games opened up at like 140. The second one opened up at like 153. Mockingjay Part 1 opened up at like 123. And this one opens up at 101. So you can definitely tell the people that are sticking around for this franchise are definitely the hardcore fans and some of the casual moviegoers. So huge drop off from Mockingjay Part 1. But, 100 million is not bad. So yeah. That will do it, guys. That's it. That's the box office results, and that will be the end of this show. So, we talked about some movie news, some trailers in my reviews of The Night Before and Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2, and we did some box office stuff. This was a hell of an episode, guys. Episode 105 is in the bag. So I want to thank you guys for listening. You guys are fucking awesome. Listen every single week. Follow me on Twitter. It's at RealChaseLee. If you want to follow me on Spreaker, subscribe to my YouTube page, all that jazz. If you want to follow me on DallasMovieScreens.com, that's where I do most of my movie reviews, and WeLiveFilm.com. I have a segment on there every single week. All that information will be in the links in the description below. You can just click on them and enjoy yourself. So next week, guys, episode 106. Woo! It's a pretty my voice just cracked. It's a pretty stacked weekend. We have Creed coming out, and we have The Good Dinosaur. I will definitely check out both of those. Will I see Victor Frankenstein? I was supposed to see it tomorrow, but things changed, so I won't be reviewing Victor Frankenstein because I ain't going to pay to see it. It's just a movie that never intrigued me. So for next week, 106, I will definitely review Creed and The Good Dinosaur. It should be a very good matchup, kind of like it was this week. So that will do it, guys. This has been another episode of Real Me and Colin, a movie podcast. I'm Chase Lee. I want you guys to have a good day, good night, or whenever the hell you're listening to this. You guys keep it real. And hey, if you weren't a movie fan and you made it through this entire podcast, well, maybe I convinced you to be one. I'll see you guys next week. You're fucking awesome. Keep it real. Keep it chill. Go see some movies. And I'm Chase Lee. I'll see you next week. Let's play the outro music. Oh, yeah. Intro and outro music is done by my friends band Fervent Roze. They are blowing up in Dallas, so check out their link in the description below as well. Play that fucking music.